Today I'll show you guys two easy tricks you can use to create beautiful designs using Photoshop. So first things first, you create your new page layout. I use 5 inches by 5 inches. My resolution is at 400. We create. So for this design, we get our resources. So the three main designs I'll be using here. The pattern background, the logo for the brand, and then the PNG format of the shoe. So I drag into my Photoshop. This is the shoe. This is the pattern background, and this is the logo I'll be working with. Okay, let's get into it. So you go to your type tool and you type just do it. Increase the size. Just at the center. Okay, so you go to your character panel. This is the font you are using here. For this video, all the resources you are going to use will be in the link on the description so that you can click and download and practice. So we make it white and then we move forward. Now I want to show you guys how you stretch this text without really affecting how the text will look like in a bad way. So if I drag this down normally, you see that this is not looking nice at all. So what I'm going to show you guys is how you can stretch a text and it still come out well. So what do? We go to a layer panel, click on the text, then right click and convert to shape. Right click, convert to shape. This is it. Then you go to your toolbar, you click on this direct selection tool, this arrow here, direct selection. Now what it does, it if you look at this text, we have nodes all over it, these points all over it, these blue dots and everything all over it. So we want to just stretch the lower part, so we'll highlight this lower part. If you notice, this area is no longer selected again. If I select this area on top and drag, it will stretch. So let's just hold and drag. Now this is what it's going to look like. Are you seeing? So I'll just hold shift so it will move in a straight line, so it does not shake even if my mouse is shaking or anything. So I just hold shift and drag. So this is what it looks like. It looks like enter. Looking beautiful already. So do the next thing, we make our shoe visible. Let's take the shoe above this. So we reduce the size of this shoe and then flip horizontal. I want the shoe to face the other way. Flip horizontal. Okay. See what this is what it looks like. Yes. And let's make sure we still have this at the center. Okay. Okay, that's it for this. And then I have a red tree here, so I would want to work with a red gradient background. So I go to my blending options, go to gradient overlay for the background. So this is the red gradient I'll be using. Make sure it's at radial, and then the bright part should be at the center, while the dark part should just go around it. I'll just reverse. This is the dark area, this is the bright area. Click OK. And then the next thing we're going to do is to use our pattern background. So if I put on the pattern background, I'll extend. Now it's covering the whole background and it's not looking nice. So I just go to blending options, check the blending mode. So for this blending mode, you choose the one that plays out well in your design. For this design, I'll use multiply and then reduce the opacity. Yes, it's already looking nice. So Now I don't want this background to play out everywhere on this design. I just want it to be at at the edges around here. So I click on my background and then create a clipping mark, a layer mark, sorry. Create a layer mark, then use my eraser or brush, whichever one works for you, and then erase. So it just look as that just around the design. Can reduce the opacity a bit. Let's use 9 or let's use 10. 9 is okay for me. If you look at it, it's looking nice already. So when I work with images, personally I like to adjust my image and stuff. So I will just click on my shoe and go to camera roll, go to filter, camera roll. I want to add some texture, increase some colors, and do some things on this shoe. So this is my camera roll. I go to the texture. Yes, so what texture does to it. Gives it more details. I give it a little clarity, not too much. And then I go to saturation, increase all the blue. Yeah, increase the red a bit. +3. Give it a little brightness. Yes, I've made this so brighter by increasing the highlight. So this is it. Watch out. Now this is what it looks like. This is before. Let me zoom in. This is before and after. Yes. So what do we do next? I want to show you guys the next thing, which is using pixel stretch. How do I do that? Now you click on the image you want to stretch, then you go to your rectangular marquee tool, click on it, then draw a tiny rectangle. Then this is a tiny rectangle that I've drawn. What do? I press Ctrl J so that a new layer will come up. This selected area will be duplicated on a new layer. So Ctrl J. Look at, if I turn off this shoe, you can see the duplicated layer here. So what I do next is to stretch that new layer. Ctrl T, and I'll hold alternate and stretch on both sides. Okay, now you see, go to another part. I want to do a circular stretch on this shoe. Okay, so this is on that part. You can do and drag it so. Okay, you see, press Ctrl J again and stretch. This is what we have. Then I move it together here. I want white to play in a bit, so what I'll just do is click on this. I want to add a little white, so it will not just be red and black. So I select from here, I draw a tiny rectangle from here to a little bit of the white. Yes, press Ctrl J, Ctrl C, and then hold alternate and stretch from both sides. Okay, this is better. I move two of them together and select both of them and merge. Select both of them and press Ctrl E to merge. So I don't want this to be too long or whatever, so I'm just going to crop it out. So I go to select, or make sure this layer is selected, and then go to image and crop. So it cuts out other part of the image that are not visible of this layer that is not visible now. So what do we do next? We create a layer mask. We want this to be directly above this. We can do like something like this. So what do? I create a clipping mask here and select this and then drag this down. Okay. So what do I do? I click on this layer I want to work with. Go to filter, go to distort. Now we want to make this our stretch in a circular form. Now you go to distort and then go to polar coordinates. You click on it and Photoshop will do the rest. Click OK. From rectangle to polar or from polar to rectangle, whatever. Okay, now this is what I have. I know you guys have seen this a lot in some designs. So what do? I just increase the size. I increase the size. I don't want it to be everywhere on the design, so I'll just increase it and put it on the side I want. Yes, I think this is better for me. So it looks like it's stretching from this shoe. Just make sure you select the area you want to stretch well so that this stretch image will play out nice. So okay, so we have, yes. So I don't want this whole part here, so I can just create a layer mask on this our stretched image and then use my eraser to clean the rest of the part that I don't want to see. Yes. So what do I do next? I add a shadow to this image, to this our shoe here. Now you have several ways of adding shadows, so it's up to you. So what I'll just do is to duplicate this image, color overlay and make it black, drag it down, drag it down, then convert it to a smart object and apply my Gaussian blow. Go to filter, Gaussian blow. You see what it's looking like already, so I can just increase it to come out well. Yeah, I think I like it at 40. Okay, 40. Okay, this is what it looks like. It looks like, okay, sorry. I want to adjust that shadow there so it will sit well. So I can just take it down a bit and reduce the opacity a little. Okay, this is what it's looking like already. Design is given, as they say. So the next thing we're going to do is to just add our logo. So this logo, it's not a PNG, so I just want to select this black area. So I can just go to my magic wand and select the black area on this image. So if I click here, now you'll not be able to make another selection if you don't hold shift. That's for Windows. So I hold shift so I can be able to make multiple selections. This is it already. This selected area, I can just press Ctrl J so that this selected area will appear duplicated on a new layer. Watch my layer panel now. If I press Ctrl J, and that one has been created. So this is what it looks like. I can just convert it to a smart object and then make it white with color overlay. Color overlay, make it white. Then Ctrl T, I reduce it a bit. Sorry. Here's my logo. Okay. You just find the area that just suits well for you, so I can just drop it at the bottom here and press OK. This is what it looks like, the completed design. So thank you all for watching. Remember, the resources used for this design is available in the link on the description. You just go there, click download and try to recreate yours. Thank you, and don't forget, to subscribe.